Good evening and welcome to the New Mexico Shakespeare Festival. My name is Micah Linford. I'm the Associate Artistic Director and Technical Director for the festival. And on behalf of Executive Director Leslie Richards and Artistic Director Peter Kirst, I'd like to thank you all for coming out and joining us on this beautiful night for Outdoor Shakespeare. A couple of pieces of business to get out of the way. First, there will be one 15-minute intermission this evening. And second, the restrooms are to my left at the end of this pathway. There is a giant banner that says restrooms. You can't miss it. Some of you may not know, but today is the 74th birthday of the United States Air Force. And since we are performing, since we are performing at the New Mexico Veterans Memorial, today was Military Appreciation Day. So we would like to thank the following organizations for partnering with the New Mexico Shakespeare Festival to help recognize the branches of our military. The Air Force Sergeants Association, Concerned Veterans for America, Operation Outdoor Phoenix, and the New Mexico Veterans Memorial itself. And we would like to extend a big thank you to the New Mexico Veterans Memorial in general for everything they've done for the festival, for allowing us to be here. And for those of you who have not been here before, we have to encourage you to come back. It's a beautiful park. It's so much more than just the amphitheater. It goes way back behind me. There are monuments, there are statues, there's a rose garden, a waterfall. So please, if you haven't visited them before, plan to come back to the park, spend some time here, and see everything that it has to offer. It's a really wonderful place. A couple thank yous to get out of the way. Our sponsors for the festival: the New Mexico Arts Division, the Urban Enhancement Trust Fund, and Sun Tours. We'd also like to thank our co-producers for the festival, the Vortex Theater and the City of Albuquerque. Many of you have been here before and you have heard it said, there are only 14 free Shakespeare festivals in the entire United States of America. And because of our sponsors and particularly our co-producers, you are able to be at one of them right now. So please, if you have a moment, if you see someone from the Vortex, someone from the city, please thank them. Please tell them how much you love coming here and how much it means to you and to us to have free, accessible Shakespeare available to the community. Now, please sit back. Oh, and speaking of Military Appreciation Night, if we could have members of the military please stand so we can recognize you today. Thank you all very much. Now, please sit back, relax, and enjoy Hamlet.
Who's there? Though yet of Hamlet our dear brother's death the memory be green, and that it us be fitted to bear our hearts in grief, and our whole kingdom to be contracted in one brow of woe, yet so far hath discretion fought with nature that we with wisest sorrow think on him together with remembrance of ourselves. Therefore our sometime sister, now our queen, have we as 'twere with a defeated joy, with mirth in funeral, and with dirge in marriage, in equal scale weighing delight and dole, taken to wife.
Oh, that this too solid flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew. Or that the everlasting had not fixed his cannon against self-slaughter. Oh, God, how weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of this world. Fie on it. Ugh, fie. 'Tis an unweeded garden that grows to seed. Things rank and gross in nature possess it merely. That it should come to this.
Nay! Answer me! Stand and unfold yourself! Bernardo?
He! Say, what is Horatio there?
A piece of him.
Welcome, Horatio. Welcome, good Marcellus. For this relief, much thanks. 'Tis bitter, cold, and I am sick at heart.
What, has this thing appeared again tonight?
I have seen nothing.
Horatio says 'tis but our fantasy. Therefore I've cheered him along to watch with us.
Tush, it will not appear.
Peace! Break me off! Look where it comes again!
Scholar, speak to it, Horatio!
Looks it not like the king? Mark it, Horatio, it would be spoke to.
What art thou that usurpest this time of night together with that fair and warlike form in which the majesty of buried Denmark did sometimes march? By heaven, I charge thee, speak. Stay. Speak! Speak! I charge thee, speak!
'Tis gone and will not answer.
How now, Horatio? Is not this something more than fantasy?
This bodes some strange eruption to our state. Break we our watch up, and by my advice let us impart what we have seen tonight unto young Hamlet. For upon my life, this spirit, dumb to us, will speak to him.
Or have we herein barred your better wisdom, which has freely gone with this affair along? For all our thanks.
Good now, my liege, and tell if I may know why such a strict and most observant watch nightly toils the subjects of the land, and such daily cast of brazen cannon and foreign mart for implements of war. What does it imply?
Now you know young Fortinbras's nephew to old Norway, having a weak supposal of our worth, hath not failed to pester us with messages demanding the surrender of those lands lost by his father to our most valiant brother. Now it appears he has sharked up a list of lawless resolutes for an enterprise which is no other than to recover those lands of us by strong hand. We have here writ to Norway to suppress his nephew's course, or risk our certain wrath. So much for him. And now, Laertes, what's the news with you? You told us of some suit. What is it, Laertes? The head is not more native to the heart, the hand more instrumental to the mouth, than is the throne of Denmark to thy father. What wouldst thou have, Laertes?
My dread lord, your leave and favor to return to France.
Have you your father's leave? What says Polonius?
He hath, my lord, wrung from me my slow leave.
Take thy fair hour, Laertes, time be thine, spend it at thy will. But now, my cousin Hamlet, and my son.
A little more than kin and less than kind.
How is it that the clouds still hang on you?
Oh, not so, my lord. I am too much in the sun.
Hamlet, cast thy nighted colour off, and with thine eye look like a friend on Denmark. Do not forever with thy veiled lids seek for thy noble father in the dust. Thou know'st 'tis common, all that lives must die, passing through nature to eternity.
Aye, madam, it is common.
Well, if it be, why seems it so particular with thee?
Seems. Nay, madam, it is. I know not seems. 'Tis not alone my inky cloak, good mother, nor customary suits of solemn black, nor windy suspiration of forced breath, nor fruitful river of the eye, nor jected havior of the visage, together with all forms, moods, shapes of grief that can denote me truly. These indeed seem, for they are actions a man might play, but I have that within which passeth show. These, but the trappings and the suits of woe.
'Tis sweet and commendable in your nature, Hamlet, to give these mourning duties to your father. But you must know, your father lost a father, that father lost his, and the survivor bound in filial obligation for some term to do obsequious sorrow. But to persever in obstinate condolement is a course of impious stubbornness. 'Tis unmanly grief. We pray you, throw to earth this unprevailing woe, and think of us as of a father. For let the world take note. You are the most immediate to our throne, and with no less nobility of love than that which, dearest father, bears his son, do I impart toward you. For your intent in going back to school in Wittenberg, it is most retrograde to our desire. We beseech you, bend you to remain here in the cheer and comfort of our eye, our chiefest courtier, cousin, and our son.
Ah, Hamlet, let not thy mother lose her prayers, I pray thee. Stay with us, go not to Wittenberg.
I will in all my best obey you, madam.
Why, 'tis a loving and a fair reply. Be as ourself in Denmark. Come away.
That it should come to this. But 2 months dead. Nay, not so much, not 2. So excellent a king, so loving to my mother that he might not beteem the winds of heaven visit her face too roughly, heaven and earth. Must I remember? Why, she would hang on him as if increase of appetite had grown by what it fed on, and yet within a month, let me not think on it. Frailty, thy name is woman, a little month. Or ere those shoes were old, with which she followed my poor father's body, like Niobe, all tears. Why she, even she, oh God, a beast that once discourse of reason would have mourned longer, married with my uncle. Oh, my father's brother, but no more like my father than I to Hercules. Oh, most wicked speed, to post with such dexterity to incestuous sheets. It is not, nor it cannot come to good, but break my heart, for I must hold my tongue.
Hail to your lordship.
I am glad to see you all. Horatio, what make you from Wittenberg, Marcellus?
My good lord,
I am very glad to see you. Good even, sir. But what in faith make you from Wittenberg?
A truant disposition, good my lord.
Oh, I would not have your enemies say so. I know you are no truant, but what is your affair at Elsinore?
Oh, my lord, I came to see your father's funeral.
I prithee do not mock me, fellow student. I think it was to see my mother's wedding.
Indeed, it followed hard upon.
Thrift, Horatio. The funeral baked meats did coldly furnish forth the marriage tables. God, would I had met my dearest foe in heaven, or ever I had seen that day. My father, methinks I see my father.
Where, my lord?
In my mind's eye, Horatio.
He was a goodly king.
He was a man. Take him for all in all. I shall not look upon his like again.
My lord, I think I saw him this very night.
Saw who?
My lord, the king, your father.
The king, my father. For God's love, let me hear.
2 nights together hath these gentlemen, Marcellus and Bernardo, on their watch in the dead vast and middle of the night, been thus encountered. A figure like your father appears before them, and with solemn march goes slow and stately by them. This to me in dreadful secrecy in part they did, and I with them this 3rd night kept the watch, where, As they had delivered, the apparition comes. I knew your father. These hands are not more like.
Where was this?
My lord, upon the platform where we watched.
Did you not speak to it?
My lord, I did, but answer made it none.
'Tis very strange.
As I do live, my honored lord, 'tis true.
Indeed, indeed, but this troubles me. What looked he, frowningly?
A countenance more in sorrow than in anger.
Pale or red?
Nay, very pale.
Fixed his eyes upon you.
Most constantly.
Would I had been there.
Would have much amazed you.
Very like. Very like. I will watch tonight. Perchance we'll walk again.
Oh, I warrant it will.
If it do assume my noble father's person, I will speak to it, Horatio. Though hell itself should gape and bid me hold my peace. I pray you all, if you have hitherto concealed this sight, let it be tenable in your silence still. Farewell. On the platform twixt 11 and 12, I'll visit you.
Our duty to your honor.
Your love as mine to you. Farewell. Oh, my father's spirit, all is not well. Would the night would come. Till then, sit still my soul. Foul deeds will rise, though all the earth o'erwhelm them, to men's eyes.
Farewell, sister. Do not sleep, but let me hear from you.
Do you doubt that?
For Hamlet and the trifling of his favor, hold it a fashion and a toy in blood. Sweet, not lasting, no more.
No more but so.
Think it no more. Perhaps he loves you now, but you must fear his greatness weighed. His will is not his own. He may not, as unvalued persons do, carve for himself. Then weigh what loss your honor may sustain if with too credent ear you list his songs. Fear it, Ophelia. Fear it, my dear sister.
I shall the effect of this good lesson keep as watchman to my heart. But good my brother, do not, as some ungracious pastors do, show me the steep and thorny way to heaven, whilst he himself the primrose path of dalliance treads.
Oh, fear me not. But here my father comes.
Yet here, Laertes, aboard for shame. There, my blessing with thee. Oh, and these few precepts, in thy memory see thou character. Give thy thoughts no tongue, nor any unproportioned thought his act. Be thou familiar, but by no means vulgar. Those friends thou hast, their adoption tried, grapple them to thy soul with hoops of steel, but do not dull thy palm with entertainment of every new-hatched, unfledged comrade. Beware of entrance to a quarrel, but in it, bear it the opposed may beware of thee. Give every man thy ear, but few thy voice, and take every man's censure, but reserve thy judgment. Costly thy habit as thy purse can buy, but not expressed in fancy, rich, not gaudy, for apparel oft proclaims the man. Oh, neither a borrower nor lender be, for loan oft loses both itself and friend. And borrowing dulls the edge of husbandry. This above all, to thine own self be true. Then it must follow as night day, thou canst not be false to any man. Farewell, my blessing season this in thee.
Most humbly do I take my leave, my lord. Farewell, Ophelia, and remember well what I have said to you.
'Tis in my memory locked, and you yourself shall keep the key of it.
Farewell.
What is it, Ophelia, be hath said to you?
Will so please you, something touching the Lord Hamlet.
Aye, marry well bethought. Give me up the truth, what is between you?
Well, he hath, my lord of late, made many tenders of his affections to me.
Affections, oh, you speak like a green girl.
My lord, he hath importuned me with love and honorable fashion.
Fashion you may call it, but go to.
And hath given countenance to a speech, my lord, with almost all the holy vows of heaven.
Aye, springes to catch woodcocks. I know when the blood burns how the prodigal soul lends the tongue vows. From this moment be somewhat scanter with your maiden presence. As for Lord Hamlet, well, believe in him so much that he is young, and with a larger tether may he walk than be given you. In few, Ophelia, do not believe his vows. This is for all. I would not, in plain terms, from this moment forth, have you so slander a moment leisure as to give words and talk with the Lord Hamlet. Look to it, I charge you.
I shall obey, my lord.
Come your ways.
What hour now?
Oh, I think it lacks 12.
Nay, it is struck.
Indeed, I heard it not.
Look, my lord, it comes!
O angels and ministers of grace, defend us. Thou comest in such a questionable shape that I will speak to thee. I'll call thee King, Hamlet, Father, O royal Dane, answer me. Say, what may this mean? Say, why is this? Wherefore? What should we do?
What beckons you to go away with it?
Do not go with it.
No, by no means.
It will not speak, then I will follow it.
Do not, my lord.
Why? What should be the fear? I do not set my life at a pin's fee, and as for my soul, what can it do to that? Being a thing immortal as itself, it waves me forth again. I'll follow it.
What if it should assume some other horrible form which might draw you into madness?
No, it waves me yet. Go on, I'll follow thee.
You shall not go, my lord!
Hold off your hands.
Be ruled. You shall not go.
My fate cries out. I say, away. Go on, I'll follow thee.
He waxes desperate with imagination.
It is not fit thus to obey him. Something is rotten in the state of Denmark.
Whither wilt thou lead? Speak. I'll go no further.
Mark me.
I will.
My hour is almost come when I to sulphurous and tormenting flames must render up myself.
Oh, alas, poor ghost.
Pity me not, but lend thy serious hearing to what I shall unfold.
Speak. I am bound to hear.
So art thou to revenge when thou hast heard.
What?
I am thy father's spirit, doomed for a certain term to walk the night, and for the day confined to fast in fire until the foul crimes done in my days of nature are burnt and purged away. List, list, oh list, if thou didst ever thy dear father love,
Oh, God.
revenge his foul and most unnatural murder.
Murder.
Murder, most foul, as in the best it is, but this, most foul, strange, and unnatural.
Haste me to know it that I may sweep to my revenge.
I find thee apt. Now, Hamlet, hear. 'Tis given out that sleeping in my orchard a serpent stung me. But know, thou noble youth, the serpent that did sting thy father's life now wears his crown.
Oh, my prophetic soul, my uncle!
Aye, that adulterate, that incestuous beast, won to his shameful lust the will of my most seeming virtuous queen. Oh, Hamlet, what a falling off was there from me, whose love was of that dignity that went hand in hand even with the vows I first gave to her in marriage. But lust will sate itself in a celestial bed and prey on garbage. But soft, methinks I scent the morning air. Brief let me be.
Oh.
Sleeping in my orchard, my custom always of the afternoon. Upon my secure hour thy uncle stole, with juice of cursed Hebanon in a vial, and in the porches of mine ears he did pour the leprous distilment. Thus was I, sleeping, by a brother's hand at once dispatched of life, of crown, of queen. If thou hast nature in thee, bear it not. Horrible it was, horrible, oh most horrible. Let not the royal bed of Denmark be made a couch for luxury and damned incest. But howsoever thou pursuest this act, taint not thy mind, nor let thy soul contrive against thy mother aught. Leave her to heaven, and to the thorns that in her bosom lodge to prick and sting her. Fare thee well at once. Adieu, Hamlet. remember me.
Remember thee? Aye, oh thou poor ghost, while memory holds a seat in this distracted globe. Remember thee. From the tables of my memory, I'll wipe away all trivial fond records, all saws of books, all forms and pressures past that youth and observation copied there, and thy commandment all alone shall live within the book and volume of my brain, unmixed with baser matter. Yes, by heaven, oh, most pernicious woman, oh, villain, smiling, damned villain. Oh, my tables. Meat it is. I set it down. One may smile and be a villain. At least I know it may be so in Denmark. So, uncle, there you are. Now, to my word, it is remember me. I have sworn it.
Hamlet!
So be it.
My lord! Hamlet!
Oh, boy. Gumbert, come.
How is my noble lord?
What news, my lord?
Most wonderful.
Oh, good my lord, tell it.
No, you'll reveal it.
Not I, my lord, by heaven.
Nor I, my lord.
How say you then, but you'll be secret?
I, by heaven, my lord.
Oh, there was ne'er a villain dwelling in all Denmark, but he's an errant knave.
There needs no ghost, my lord, come from the grave to tell us this.
Right. Quite right. You are in the right. And so, without more circumstance at all, I hold it fit that we shake hands and part. You to where your business and desire should lead you, as every man has business and desire, such as it is. For my poor part, I look you. I'll go pray.
These are but wild and whirling words, my lord.
Oh, I'm sorry they offend. Yes, faith heartily.
There's no offense, my lord.
But there is, by St. Patrick, Horatio, and such offense too. Touching on this vision, it is an honest ghost that we have seen, that let me tell you. But as for your desire to know what has passed between us, or mastered as you may know, friends, as you are friends, soldiers, scholars, give me one poor request.
What is it, my lord? We will.
Never make known what you have seen tonight.
My lord, we will not.
Nay, swear it.
In faith, my lord, not I.
Nor I, my lord. In faith.
Upon my life.
Lord, we have sworn already.
Swear.
Come on. You hear this fellow in the cellar? Oh, consent to swear.
Swear.
Day and night, this is but wondrous strange.
Therefore, as a stranger, give it welcome. There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. Now come here, as before. Never, so help you mercy, how odd or strange soe'er I bear myself, as I perchance hereafter shall think meet to put an antic disposition on, that you, at such time seeing me, never shall with arms encumbered thus, or with this head shake, or by pronouncing of some doubtful phrase, as, well, we know, or we could, and if we would, or any ambiguous giving out, to note that you know aught of me. This do not do. So grace and mercy at your most needs help you. Swear!
Swear.
Oh. Rest. Perturbed spirit. Oh. Now, gentlemen, with all my love, I do commend me to you. And what so poor a man as Hamlet is may do to show his love and friending, God willing, shall not lack. Now, let us go in together, but still thy fingers on thy lips. Oh, time is out of joint. Cursed spite that ever I was born to set it right. Nay, come, let's go together.
Oh, my lord, I have been so affrighted.
What in the name of God?
As I was sewing in my closet, Lord Hamlet, with his doublet all unbraced, pale as his shirt, his knees knocking each other, and with a look so piteous in purport as if he'd been loosed out of hell to speak of horrors, he came before me.
Mad for thy love.
Oh, my lord, I do not know, but truly I do fear it.
What said he?
He took me by the wrist and held me hard. Then goes he to the length of all his arm, and with his other hand thus o'er his brow, he falls to such perusal of my face as he would draw it. Long stayed he so, at last a little shaking of mine arm, and thrice his head thus waving up and down, he raised a sigh so piteous and profound as it did seem to shatter all his bulk and end his being. That done, he lets me go, and with his head over his shoulder turned, he seemed to find his way without his eyes, for out the doors he went without their helps, and to the last bended their light on me.
Have you given him any hard words of late?
No, my good lord, but as you did command, I did repel his letters and deny his access to me.
That hath made him mad. I am sorry that with better heed and judgment I had not noted him. I feared he did but trifle, that he meant to wreck thee. Come, go we to the king, this must be known. Come.
Welcome, dear Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Moreover, that we much did long to see you, the need we have to use you did provoke our hasty sending. Something have you heard of Hamlet's transformation, so call it? What it should be more than his father's death, I cannot dream of. I entreat you both, being of such young days brought up with him, that by your companies you draw him unto pleasures, and gather what it is that to us unknown afflicts him thus, which opened lies within our remedy.
Good gentlemen, he hath much talked of you, and sure I am 2 men there are not living to whom he more adheres. Expend your time with us a while, and your visitation shall receive such thanks as fits a king's remembrance.
Your Majesty's might by the sovereign power you have of us put your dread pleasures more into command than to entreaty.
But we both obey and lay our service freely at your feet to be commanded.
Thanks, Rosencrantz and gentle Guildenstern.
Thanks, Guildenstern, and gentle Rosencrantz, but I beseech you instantly to visit my too much changed son.
The ambassadors from Norway, my good lord, are joyfully returned. And I do think, or else this brain of mine hunts not the trail of policy so sure as that hath used to do, that I have found the very cause of Hamlet's lunacy.
Oh, speak of that. That I do long to hear.
Well, I doubt it is no other than the main, his father's death and our hasty marriage.
First, the tidings of the ambassadors. My news will be the fruit to that great feast.
What says our brother Norway?
Most fair return of greetings and desires. And his nephew Fortinbras's levies were a preparation against the Pollock, not an assay of arms against your majesty. And he entreats your grace to give Fortinbras quiet pass through your dominion.
It likes us well. This business is well ended. Now, to Hamlet.
Oh, my liege, and madam, to expostulate what majesty should be, what duty is, why day is day and night is night, were nothing but to waste night, day, and time. Therefore, since brevity is the soul of wit, and tediousness the limbs and outward flourishes, I will be brief. Your noble son is mad. Mad call I it, for to define true madness, what is it to be nothing else but mad? But let that go.
More matter with less art.
Madam, I swear I use no art at all. That he is mad, 'tis true, 'tis pity, and 'tis pity, 'tis true. A foolish figure. But farewell it, I will use no art. Mad, let us grant him then. And now remains that we must find the cause of this effect. Or rather the cause of this defect. For this effect effective comes by cause, thus it remains a remainder, thus perpend. I have a daughter, have while she is mine, who in her duty and obedience, mark, hath given me this, gather and surmise. To the celestial, my soul's idol, the most beautified Ophelia, that is an ill phrase. A vile phrase. Beautified is a vile phrase. You shall hear it. In her most excellent white bosom, thus
Keenness from Hamlet to her.
Good madam, stay a while. I will be faithful. Doubt the stars are fire, doubt the sun doth move, doubt the truth be liar, but never doubt I love. Oh, dear Ophelia, I am ill at these numbers and have not art to reckon my groans, but that I love thee best, oh, most best, believe it. Adieu, thine evermore, dear lady, while this machine is to him, Hamlet. This in obedience my daughter hath given me.
But how has she received his love?
What do you think of me?
As of a man faithful and honorable.
And I would fain prove so. What might you think had I looked upon this love with idle sight? What might you think? No, I went round to work, and to my young mistress thus I did bespeak. Lord Hamlet is a prince. Out of thy star this must not be. And then I precepts gave her, that she should lock herself from his resort, admit no messengers, receive no tokens. Which done, she took the fruits of my advice, and he, repulsed, a short tale to make, fell into a sadness, and then into a fast, and thence to a watch, and thence to a weakness, and then to a lightness, and by this declension into the madness wherein now he raves, and all we mourn for.
Do you think 'tis this?
What could be very likely?
Has there been a time, I fain know that, where I have positively said 'tis so, and it proved otherwise?
Not that I know. How may we try it further?
You know, he sometimes walks for hours together here in the lobby.
So he does indeed.
At such a point, I'll loose my daughter to him. Be you and I behind an arras, then, mark the encounter. If he loves her not, and not for reason fallen thereon, let me be no assistant for estate, but keep a farm and carter.
We will try it.
But look, why sadly the poor wretch comes
Away, I beseech you, both away. I will board him presently.
This is going to...
How does the good Lord Hamlet?
Well, God have mercy.
Do you know me, my lord?
Excellent. Well, you are a fishmonger.
Oh, not I, my lord.
Oh, then I would you were so honest a man.
Honest, my lord.
Aye, sir. Oh, to be honest, as this world goes, is to be as one man plucked out of 10,000.
'Tis most true, my lord.
Have you a daughter?
I have, my lord.
Let her not walk in the sun. Conception may be a blessing, but not as your daughter may conceive, friend. Look to it.
What say you by that? Still harping on my daughter, yet he knew me not at first. He thought I was a fishmonger. He is far gone. Far gone. Yet truly in my youth I suffered such extremity in love very near this. I will speak to him again. What do you read, my lord?
Words.
What is the matter, my lord?
Between who?
The matter that you read, my lord?
Slander, sir. For the satirical rogue says, here, that old men have gray beards, that their faces are wrinkled, their eyes purging thick amber and plum tree gum, that they have a plentiful lack of wit, together with most weak hands. Oh, all of which, though I most powerfully and potently believe, yet I do not hold it honesty to see it thus set down. For yourself, sir, could be as old as I am if, like a crab, you could go backward.
Though this is madness, there is a method to it. Will you walk out of the air, my lord?
Into my grave.
Indeed, that is out of the air. How pregnant sometimes his replies are. A happiness that madness often touches on. My most honorable lord, I humbly seek my leave of you.
Oh, you cannot, sir, take from me anything I will more willingly part withal. Except my life. Except my life. Except my life.
I humbly take my leave of you. You seek the good Lord Hamlet. There he is.
My honored lord.
My most dear lord.
My excellent good friends. Rosencrantz, how dost thou? Guildenstern. Good lads, how do you both?
As the indifferent children of the earth.
Happy in that we are not over happy. On fortune's cap, we are not the very button.
Nor the very soles of her shoes.
Neither, my lord.
Then you live about her waist, in the middle of her favors.
Faith, her privates we.
Oh! The secret parts of fortune. Ugh. Most true. She is a strumpet. What's the news?
None, my lord, but that the world's grown honest.
Oh, then is doomsday near. Oh, but your news is not true. Let me question more in particular. What have you deserved at the hands of fortune that she sends you to prison hither?
Prison, my lord?
Aye, Denmark is. Oh, a prison.
Then is the world one?
Aye, a goodly one. With many confines, dungeons and wards, Denmark being one of the worst. Ah!
We think not so, my lord.
Oh, why? Then 'tis none to you. For there is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. Ha-ha. To me it is a prison.
Why, then your ambition makes it one. 'Tis too narrow for your mind.
Oh, God. I could be bounded in a nutshell and count myself a king of infinite space, were it not that... Oh. Shh. I have bad dreams. Oh. But in the beaten way of friendship, what is your affair at Elsinore?
To visit you, my lord, no other occasion.
Oh. Well, beggar that I am even poor in thanks. But I thank you. Were you not sent for? Is this your own inclining? Is this a free visitation? Come. Come, deal justly with me. Come. Nay, speak.
What shall we say, my lord?
Oh, why, anything but to the purpose. Oh, I know you were sent for there is a kind of confession in your looks that your modesties have not craft enough to color. I know the good king and queen. Oh, sent for you.
To what end, my lord?
Well, that you must teach me, but first be even and direct with me whether you were sent for or no.
My lord, we were sent for.
Oh, well then, I shall tell you why. And so shall my anticipation prevent your discovery, and secrecy to king and queen moult no feather. I have of late, though wherefore I know not, lost all my mirth, forgone all customs of exercises. Indeed, it goes so heavily with my disposition that this goodly frame, the earth, to me seems no more than a sterile promontory. And this most excellent canopy, the air, why look you! This brave o'erhanging firmament, this majestical roof fretted with golden fire, and to me it appears no more than a foul and pestilent congregation of vapors. What a piece of work is a man, huh? How noble in reason, how infinite in faculty, in form and moving, how express and admirable, in action, how like an angel in apprehension, how like a god, and yet to me, what is this? Quintessence of dust. No, man delights not me. Nor woman neither, though by your smiling you seem to say so.
My lord, there was no such stuff in my thoughts.
Then why did you laugh when I said man delights not me?
To think, my lord, if you delight not in men, what Lenten entertainment the players shall receive from you. Hither are they coming to offer you service.
Well, he that plays the king will be welcome. What players are they?
Even those you were wont to take delight in, the tragedians of the city.
Huh. How chances it they travel? Hold they the same estimation that they did while I was in the city?
No, indeed, they do not.
No, well, 'tis not very strange. Mine uncle is King of Denmark. and those that would make mouths at him while my father lived. Now pay 20, 40, 50, 100 ducats apiece for his picture in little. Sblood, there is something more than natural in it if philosophy could find it out.
There are the players.
Gentlemen, you are welcome to Elsinore, but my uncle father and my aunt mother are deceived.
In what, my dear lord?
Oh, I am but mad. North, northwest. When the wind blows southerly, I can tell a hawk from a handsaw.
The actors come here then, my lord.
Oh, old friends. Welcome. Welcome. Oh, come. Give us a taste of your quality. Come, a passionate speech.
What speech, my lord?
Oh, I heard thee speak me a speech once, though it was never acted, or if it was, never above once, for the play as I remember, please not the million. But it was, as I received it, an excellent play. One speech in it I chiefly loved. 'Twas Aeneas' tale to Dido.
Yeah.
Oh, thereabouts of it, especially when he speaks on Priam's slaughter. I pray you, if it live in your memory, begin at this line. The rugged Pyrrhus.
The rugged Pyrrhus, he whose sable arms, black as his purpose, did the knight resemble when he lay couched in the ominous horse, is now with blood of fathers, mothers, daughters, sons, o'ersized with coagulate gore. The hellish Pyrrhus, with eyes like carbuncles, old grandsire Priam seeks. Anon he finds him, striking too short at Greeks. His antique sword, rebellious to his arm, lies where it falls, repugnant to command. Pyrrhus at Priam drives, in rage strikes wide, but with the whiff and wind of his fell sword, the aged Priam falls. And never did the Cyclops' hammer fall with less remorse than Pyrrhus's bleeding sword now falls on Priam. Oh, out, out, thou strumpet Fortuna.
This is too long.
Twill to the barbers with your beard. I pray you speak on. He's for a jig or a tale of bawdry, or else he sleeps. Speak on. Come to Hecuba.
But who, oh, who had seen the mobled queen?
Oh, that's good. Mobled is good.
Run barefoot up and down, a cloth upon that head where late the precious crown had stood, and for a robe, a blanket in the alarm of fear caught up. If this the gods had seen, when she saw Pyrrhus, make malicious sport, mincing with his sword her husband's limbs, the instant burst of clamor that she made, unless things mortal move them not at all, would have made weep the burning eyes of heaven and bred passion in the gods.
Look where he does not change his color, but has tears in his eyes. Pray you no more.
Oh, what a rogue and peasant slave am I. Is it not monstrous that this player here, but in a fiction, in a dream of passion, could force his soul so to his own conceit that by her working all his visage wand, tears in his eyes, distraction in his aspect, a broken voice, and his whole function suiting with form to his conceit, and all for nothing? For Hecuba? Why, what is Hecuba to him, or he to Hecuba, that he should weep for her? What would he do had he the motive and the cue for passion that I have? He would drown the stage with tears, cleave the general ear with horrid speech, make mad the guilty and appall the free, confound the ignorant and amaze indeed the very faculties of eyes and ears, while I, a dull and muddy-mettled rascal, peak like John a Dreams, unpregnant of my cause, and can say nothing. No, not for a king, upon whose property and most dear life a damned defeat was made. Am I a coward? Who calls me villain? who breaks my paid across, plucks me by the beard, blows it in my face, tweaks me by the nose, gives me a lie in the throat as deep as the lungs, swoons, I should take it. For it cannot be, but I am pigeon-livered and lack gall to make oppression bitter. Or ere this, I should have fatted all the region kites with this slave's awful, bloody, bawdy villain, remorseless, treacherous, lecherous, kindless villain, oh vengeance! Why? What an ass am I? This is most brave, huh? That I, the son of a dear father, murdered, prompted to my revenge by heaven and hell, must, like a whore, unpack my heart with words and fall a-cursing like a very drab, a scullion, fie on it. About my brain. I have heard that guilty creatures sitting at a play have, by the very cunning of this scene, been struck so to the soul that presently they have proclaimed their malefactions. For murder, though it hath no tongue, will speak with most miraculous organ. I'll have these players play something like the murder of my father before mine uncle. I'll observe his looks. I'll tend him to the quick, if he but blench. I know my course. 'Tis well, 'tis well. I'll have thee speak out the rest soon. Good, my lord. Will you see these players well bestowed?
I will use them according to their desert.
Oh, God's boggins, man. Much better. Use every man after his own desert, and who should scape whipping. Use them after your own honor and dignity. The less they deserve, the more merit is in your bounty.
Come.
Go. Follow that same lord. We'll have a play tomorrow night. Old friend? Dost thou hear me? Can you play The Murder of Gonzago?
Aye, my lord.
Very well. We'll have it tomorrow night. And you could, for a need, study a speech of some a dozen or 16 lines that I would set down and insert into it, could you not?
Aye, my lord.
Very well. Very well. We'll have it tomorrow night. Oh, go, follow that same lord. Oh, but look you. Mock him not. Friends, I will quit you till tomorrow night. You are welcome to Elsinore.
Good, my lord.
Aye. Aye. God be with you. The spirit I have seen may be the devil. For the devil hath power to assume a pleasing shape. Yea, and perhaps out of my weakness or my melancholy, as he is very potent with such spirits, abuses me to damn me. I'll have grounds more relative than this. The play's the thing wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king.
And can you, by no drift of circumstance, get from him why he puts on this confusion?
He does confess he feels himself distracted, but from what cause he will by no means speak.
Nor do we find him forward to be sounded, but with a crafty madness keeps aloof.
Did you assay him to any pastime?
Madam, we did. It so fell out that certain players are about the court, and they have ordered this knight to play before him.
'Tis most true. He did beseech me to entreat your majesties to hear and see the matter.
With all my heart, and it doth much content me to hear him so inclined. Good gentlemen, give him a further edge and drive his purpose on to these delights.
We shall, my lord.
Sweet Gertrude, leave us too, for we have closely sent for Hamlet hither that he, as 'twere by accident, may hear affront Ophelia.
Ophelia, I do wish that your good beauties be the happy cause of Hamlet's wildness. So shall I hope that your virtues bring him to his wonted way again.
Madam, I wish it may.
Ophelia, walk you here. Gracious, so you please, we bestow ourselves.
To be or not to be? That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing, end them. To die, to sleep, no more. And by a sleep, we say to end the heartache and the 1,000 natural shocks that flesh is heir to, 'tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die, to sleep, perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come when we have shuffled off this mortal coil must give us pause. There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life. For who would bear the whips and scorns of time? The oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the pangs of disprized love, the law's delay, the insolence of office, and the spurns that patient merit of the unworthy takes when he himself might his quietus make with a bare bodkin. Who would fardels bear? To grunt and sweat under a weary life, but that the dread of something after death, that undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveler returns, puzzles the will and makes us rather bear those ills we have than fly to others that we know not of. Thus conscience does make cowards of us all. And thus the native hue of resolution is sicklied o'er with the pale cast of thought and enterprises of great pitch and moment. With this regard, their currents turn awry and lose the name of action. But softy now. The fair Ophelia. Nymph. Oh, nymph. In thy orisons be all my sins remembered.
Good my lord, how does your honor for this many a day?
Oh, I humbly thank you. Well.
My lord, I have remembrances of yours that I have long had longed to redeliver. I pray you now receive them.
No, not I never gave you aught.
My honored lord, you know right well you did, and with them words of so sweet breath, composed as made the things more rich. Their perfume lost, take these again, for to the noble mind rich gifts wax poor when givers prove unkind. There, my lord.
Are you honest?
My lord.
Are you fair?
What means your lordship?
That if you be honest and fair, your honesty should admit no discourse to your beauty.
Could beauty, my lord, have better commerce than with honesty?
Aye, truly. For the power of beauty will sooner transform honesty from what it is into a bawd than the force of honesty can translate beauty into his likeness. Oh, this was sometime a paradox, but now, oh, the time gives it proof. I did love you once.
Indeed, my lord, you made me believe so.
You should not have believed me. For virtue cannot so inoculate our old stock, but we shall relish of it. I loved you not.
I was the more deceived.
Get thee to a nunnery. Why wouldst thou be a breeder of sinners? I am myself indifferent, honest, but yet I could accuse me of such things that it were better my mother had not borne me. I am very proud, revengeful, ambitious. With more offenses at my beck than I have thoughts to put them in, imagination to give them shape, or time to act them in. What should such fellows as I do crawling between earth and heaven? We are errant knaves, all. Believe none of us. Go thy ways to a nunnery. Oh, where is your father?
At home, my lord?
Oh, then let the doors be shut upon him, that he may play the fool nowhere but in his own house. Farewell.
Oh, help him, you sweet heavens.
If thou dost marry, I'll give thee this plague for thy dowry. Be thou as chaste as ice, as pure as snow. Thou shalt not escape calumny. To a nunnery, go. Oh, and if thou wilt needs marry, you marry a fool. For wise men know what monsters you make of them. Get thee to a nunnery, and quickly too. Farewell.
No heavenly powers restore him.
I have heard of your paintings too. Well enough, huh? God gives you one face and you make yourself another. You jig, you amble, you lisp, and you nickname God's creatures. You make your wantonness your ignorance. Go to! It hath made me mad. I say, there shall be no more marriages. Those who are already married, all but one, shall live. The rest shall keep as they are. To a nunnery. Go!
Oh, what a noble mind is here o'erthrown. The courtiers, soldiers, scholars, eye, tongue, sword, the expectancy and rose of the fair state, the glass of fashion and the mold of form, the observed of all observers, quite down. And I, of ladies most deject and wretched, that sucked the honey of his music vows, now see the most noble and sovereign reason like sweet bells jangled, out of tune and harsh, that unmatched form and feature of blown youth blasted with ecstasy. Oh, woe is me, to have seen what I have seen, see what I see.
How now, Ophelia?
Love. His affections do not that way tend, nor what he spake, though it lacked form a little, was not like madness. Oh, there is something in his soul o'er which his melancholy sits on brood, and I do doubt the hatch and the disclose will be some danger. Wherefore to prevent, I have in quick determination thus set it down. He shall with speed to England for the demand of our neglected tribute. What think you on it?
It shall do well. But yet I do think the origin and commencement of his grief sprung from neglected love. My liege, do as you please. But if you hold fit, after the play, let his queen mother alone entreat him to show his grief. Let her be round with him. I'll be placed, so please you, in the ear of all their conference. If she finds him not to England, send him, or confine him where your wisdom best shall think.
It shall be so. Madness and great ones must not unwatched go.
Speak this speech, I pray you, as I pronounced it to you, huh? Trippingly on the tongue. For if you mouth it as many of your players do, I had as lief the town crier spoke my lines. nor do not saw the air too much with your hands thus, for in the very torrent, tempest, and as I may say, the whirlwind of your passion, you must acquire and beget a temperance that may give all smoothness.
Well, I hope we have reformed that indifferently with us, sir.
Oh, reform it altogether. Go, make you ready. Oh, what a Horatio.
At your service.
There is a play tonight for the king. One scene of it comes very near the circumstance which I have told thee of my father's death. I pray you, when you seest that act afoot, even with the very comment of thy soul, observe mine uncle. If his occulted guilt do not itself unkennel in one speech, then it is a damned ghost that we have seen.
Well, my lord, if he steal aught the whilst this play is playing and scape detecting, I will pay the theft.
Oh, they are coming to the play. I must be idle.
And what one is this?
How fares our cousin Hamlet?
Excellent! In faith, of the chameleon's dish I eat the air. Promise, correct. You cannot feed capon so.
I have nothing with this answer, Hamlet. These words are not mine.
No, nor mine now either. Be the players ready.
Aye, my lord, they stay upon your patience.
Bid them make haste. Oh, my lord. You played once in the university, you say?
Oh, that I did, my lord. I was accounted a good actor.
Oh, what did you enact?
I did enact Julius Caesar. I was killed in the Capitol. Brutus killed me.
It was a brute part of him to kill so capital a calf there.
Hamlet, come sit next to me.
No.
Child.
Mother, here's metal more attractive. Lady, shall I lie in your lap?
No, my lord.
Oh, I meant my head upon your lap.
Aye, my lord.
Did you think I meant country matters?
I think nothing, my lord.
Oh, there's a fair thought to lie between a maid's legs.
What is, my lord?
Nothing.
You're merry, my lord?
Who? I?
Aye, my lord.
Well, what should a man do but be merry? What should a man do but be merry? What should a man do but be merry? Look you, how cheerfully my mother looks. And my father died within these 2 hours.
Nay, 'tis 2 months, my lord.
Oh, heaven. So long. Died 2 months ago and not forgotten yet. Why, then there's hope. A great man's memory may outlive his life by half a year.
For us and for our tragedy here stooping to your clemency, we beg your hearing patiently.
What is this, a prologue or the posy of a ring?
'Tis brief, my lord.
As woman's love.
Full 30 times hath Phoebus' cart gone round Neptune's salt wash and Tellus' orbit ground, and 30 dozen moons with borrowed sheen have 12 times 30's been, since love, our hearts, and Hymen did our hands unite commutual in most sacred bands.
So many journeys may the sun and moon make us again count o'er our love be done. But woe is me, you are so sick of late, so far from cheer and from your former state that I distrust you.
Faith, I must leave thee, love, and shortly too. My operant powers their functions leave to do, and thou shalt live in this fair world behind, honored, beloved, and haply one as kind for husband shalt thou.
Oh, confound the rest. Such love must needs be treason in my breast. In second husband let me be accursed. None wed the second but who killed the first. A second time I kill my husband dead when second husband kisses me in bed.
Oh, I do believe you mean what now you speak, but what we do determine, oft we break. Think'st thou now thou wilt no second husband wed? But die thy thoughts when thy first lord is dead.
Both here and hence pursue me lasting strife. If once a widow, ever I be wife.
How like you the play, madam?
The lady doth protest too much,
Oh,
methinks.
she'll keep her word.
Have you heard the argument? Is there no offense in it?
No! No offense. They do but jest, poison in the jest, but no offense in the world.
What do you call the play?
The mousetrap. Here comes one Lucianus, nephew to the king.
You're as good as a chorus, my lord.
Huh? I could interpret between you and your love if I could but see the puppets dallying. Come, murderer! Pox, leave thy damnable faces and begin! The croaking raven doth bellow for revenge.
Thoughts black, hands apt, drugs fit, and time agreeing. Confederate season, else no creature seeing, thou mixed your rank of midnight weeds collected, with Hecate's band thrice blasted, thrice infected. Thy natural magic and dire property, unwholesome life usurp immediately.
Oh, he poisons him in the garden for his estate. His name's Gonzago. Look, you shall see anon how the murderer gets the love of Gonzago's wife.
Give me some light! Away!
Let the stricken deer go weep the heart unguarded play, for some must watch and some must weep, thus runs the world away. And thou dost know, O David dear, this realm dismantled was of Jove himself, and now reigns here a very, very peacock.
You might have rhymed.
Oh, God. Horatio, I'll take the ghost word for 1,000 pounds. Didst thou perceive?
Very well, my
talk
lord.
of the poisoning?
I did very well note him.
Oh, come, some music. Come, a recorder.
Oh.
Well, for if the king likes not the comedy, why then belike he likes not begun.
Good my lord, vouchsafe me a word with you.
Oh, sir, a whole history.
The king, sir.
Aye, sir, what of him?
Is in his retirement marvelous distempered.
With drink, sir.
No, my lord, rather with choler.
Well, your wisdom should show itself more richer to signify this to his doctor. For me to put him to his purgation might perhaps plunge him into far more choler.
Good my lord, put your discourse into some frame and start not so wildly from my affair.
I am tame, sir. Pronounce.
The queen, your mother, in most great affliction of spirit, hath sent me to you.
You are welcome.
Nay, good my lord, this courtesy is not of the right breed. If it shall please you, make me a wholesome answer.
Sir, I cannot.
What, my lord?
Make you a wholesome answer. My wit's diseased. But such an answer as I can make, you shall command, or as you say, my mother. Therefore, no more to the matter. My mother. You say.
Then thus she says, your behavior has struck her into amazement and admiration.
O most wonderful son that can so astonish a mother. Is there no sequel at the heels of this mother's admiration?
She desires to speak with you in her closet ere you go to bed.
We shall obey, were she 10 times our mother. Have you any further trade with us?
My lord, you once did love me.
So I do still, by these pickers and stealers.
Good my lord, what is the cause of your distemper? You do surely bar the door upon your own liberty if you deny your griefs to your friend.
Sir, I lack advancement.
How can that be when you have the voice of the king himself for your succession in Denmark?
Oh, aye, but sir, while the grass grows, proverb something musty? Why would you go about to recover the wind of me as though you would drive me into a toil?
Oh, my lord, if my duty be too bold, my love is too unmannerly.
I do not well understand that. Would you play upon this pipe?
My lord, I cannot.
Oh, I pray you.
Believe me, I cannot.
I beseech you.
I know no touch of it, my lord.
'Tis as easy as lying. Govern these vendages with your fingers and thumb. Give it breath with your mouth, and it will discourse most eloquent music. Look you. Here are the stops.
But these cannot I command to any utterance of harmony. I have not the skill.
See now, how unworthy a thing you would make of me. You would play upon me. You would seem to know my stops. You would pluck out the heart of my mystery, sound me from my lowest note to the top of my compass. Yet there is much music, excellent voice in this little organ. Yet cannot you make it speak? Blood! Do you think I am easier to be played upon than a pipe? Call me what you will. You can fret me, but you cannot play upon me. Oh, God bless you, sir.
My lord, the queen will speak with you, and presently.
Do you see yonder cloud that's almost in the shape of a camel? Huh?
By the mass, it is like a camel indeed.
Methinks 'tis like a weasel.
It is back to weasel.
Or like a whale?
Very like a whale.
Very whale. We shall come. They fool me to the top of my bent. We shall come by and by.
I will say so.
By and by is easily said. Bye. And bye. Oh, friend. Friend, leave me. 'Tis now, the very witching time of night, when churchyards yawn and hell itself breathes out contagion to this world. Now might I drink hot blood and do such bitter business as the day would quake to look on. It's soft. Now, to my mother, I will speak daggers to her, but I will use none.
I like him not, nor stands it safe with us to let his madness range. Therefore prepare you. I your commission will forthwith dispatch, and he to England shall along with you. For we will fetters put upon this fear, which now goes too free-footed.
We will haste us.
Though my offense is rank, it smells to heaven. It hath the primal eldest curse upon it, a brother's murder. Pray can I not? Though inclination be as sharp as will, my stronger guilt defeats my strong intent. And like a man to double business bound, I stand in pause where I shall first begin and both neglect. What if this cursed hand were thicker than itself with brother's blood? Is there not rain enough in the sweet heavens to wash it white as snow? Whereto serves mercy but to confront the visage of offense? And what's in prayer but this twofold force, to be forestalled ere he comes to fall, or pardoned being down? Then I'll look up. My fault is past. But oh, what form of prayer can serve my turn? Forgive me my foul murder. That cannot be, since I am still possessed of those effects for which I did the murder. My crown, mine own ambition, and my queen. May one be pardoned and retain the offense. In the corrupted currents of this world, a fence's gilded hand may shove by justice, and oft 'tis seen the wicked prize itself buys out the law. But 'tis not so above. There is no shuffling. There the action lies in his true nature, and we ourselves compelled even to the teeth and forehead of our faults to give in evidence. What then? What rests? Try what repentance can. What can it not? But what can it when one cannot repent? Oh, wretched state! Oh, bosom black as death! Oh, limed soul that's struggling to be free ought more engaged. Help, angels, make a say. Bow stubborn knees, and heart with strings of steel be soft as sinews of the newborn babe. All may be well.
Now, might I do it, Pat? Now he is praying, and now I'll do it. And so he goes to heaven, and so am I revenged. Oh, that would be scanned. A villain killed my father, and for that I, his sole son, to this same villain sent to heaven? Ugh, this is higher in salary, not revenge. Up, sword, and know thou a more horrid hent. When he is drunk, asleep, or at his rage, or in the incestuous pleasure of his bed, at gaming, swearing, or about some act that has no relish of salvation in it, then trip him, that his heels may kick at heaven, and his soul will be as damned and black as hell. Whereto it goes, my mother stays. This physic but prolongs thy sickly days.
My words fly up, my thoughts remain below. Words without thoughts never to heaven go.
He will come straight. Look, you lay home to him. Tell him his pranks have been too much to bear, and that your grace has screened and stood between much heat and him. I'll sconce me over here.
Mother!
Pray you be round with him.
I warrant you, fear me not. Withdraw, I hear him coming.
Mother! Mother! Ah, no. Mother! What's the matter?
Hamlet, thou hast thy father much offended.
Mother, you have my father much offended.
Come, you answer with an idle tongue.
Go, you question with a wicked tongue.
Why, how now, Hamlet?
Why, what's the matter now?
Have you forgotten me?
No, by the rude, not so. You are the queen, your husband's brother's wife. And would it were not so, you are my mother.
Nay, then I'll set those to you that can speak.
Oh, no, come. What? Set you down.
What?
You go not till I set you up a glass where you may see the inmost part of you.
What wilt thou do? Thou wilt not murder me.
Oh.
Help!
Oh, how now, a rat? Dead! For a dog! Dead!
What is thou done?
Oh, I know not, is it the king?
Oh my God, what a rash and bloody deed is this?
A bloody deed. Almost as bad, good mother, as kill a king and marry with his brother.
As kill a king?
Oh, aye, lady, 'twas my word. Oh, thou wretched, rash, intruding fool. Farewell. I took thee for thy better. Take thy fortunes. You'll find to be too busy is some danger. Go, leave wringing of your hands. Peace, set you down, and let me wring your heart. For so I shall, if it be made of penetrable stuff.
What have I done, that thou darest wag thy tongue in noise so rude against me?
Such an act that blurs the grace and blush of modesty, calls virtue hypocrite, takes off the rose from the fair forehead of an innocent love and sets a blister there, makes marriage vows as false as Dicer's oath.
I mean, what act that roars so loud and thunders in the index?
Look you, upon this picture, and on this, the counterfeit presentment of two brothers. See, what a grace was seated on this brow. Hyperion's curls, the front of Jove himself, an eye like Mars to threaten and command, a combination into form indeed, where every god did seem to set his seal to give the world assurance of a man. This was your husband. Now look you. Now what follows? Here is your husband like a mildewed ear, blasting his wholesome brother. Have you eyes? Could you on this fair mountain leave to feed and batten on this moor, huh? Have you eyes? You cannot call it love, for at your age the heyday in the blood is tame. It's humble, and it waits upon the judgment. And what judgment would step from this to this? Eyes without feeling, feeling without sight, ears without hands or eyes, smelling, sans all. Oh, shame! Where is thy blood?
Oh, Hamlet, no more. Thou turnest mine eyes into my very soul, and there I see such black and grain spots as will not leave their taint.
Nay, but to live in the rank sweat of an enseamed bed, stewed in corruption, honeying and making love over the nasty sty.
No more, sweet Hamlet. These words like daggers enter into my ears. No more.
A murderer and a villain. A slave that is not 20th part the tithe of your precedent lord. A vice of kings, a cut purse of the empire and the rule that from a shelf the precious diadem stole and put it in his pocket.
No more.
A king of shreds and patches. What would your gracious figure?
Alas, he's mad.
Do you not come your tardy son to chide? That lapsed in time and passion. Let's go by the important acting of your dread command. Oh, say.
Do not forget, this visitation is but to whet thy almost blunted purpose. But look, amazement on thy mother sits. Oh, step between her and her fighting soul. Speak to her, Hamlet.
How is it with you, lady?
Alas, how's with you that you do bend your eye on vacancy and with the incorporeal air do hold discourse? Gentle son, whereon do you look?
On him. Oh, on him. No, do not look upon me, lest with that piteous action you convert my stern effects. Then what I have to do will want true color, tears perchance for blood.
To whom do you speak this?
Do you see nothing there?
No, nothing at all. Yet all that is I see.
Nor nothing do you hear.
No, nothing but ourselves.
Look. Oh, look. My father, in his habit as he lived. Look where he goes even now out at the portal.
This is the very coinage of your brain. This bodiless creation ecstasy is very cunning in.
Ecstasy! Oh, my pulse, as yours, doth temperately keep time, and makes as healthful music. It is not madness that I have uttered. Bring me to the test, and I the matter will reword which madness would gamble from. Oh, mother, for love of grace, lay not that flattering unction to your soul. Let not your trespass, but my madness speaks. It will but skin and film the ulcerous place, whilst rank corruption, mining all within, infects unseen. Confess yourself to heaven. Repent what's past. Avoid what is to come. And do not spread the compost on the weeds to make them ranker. Oh, forgive me. Forgive me this my virtue. For in the fatness of these pursy times, virtue itself must have vice. Pardon, beg, yea, curb and woo, for leave to do him good.
Hamlet, thou hast cleft my heart in twain.
Oh. Throw away the worser part of it and live the purer with the other half. Good night, mother. Oh, but go not to mine uncle's bed. Assume a virtue if you have it not. Refrain tonight, and that shall lend a kind of easiness to the next abstinence, the next more easy. For use almost can change the stamp of nature. Again, good night. And when you are desirous to be blessed, I'll blessing beg of you. For this same Lord, I do repent. But heaven hath pleased it so to punish me with this, and this with me, that I must be their scourge and minister. I will bestow him, and I will answer well that death I gave him. Good night. Good night. I must be cruel, only to be kind. Thus bad begins, but worse remains behind. Oh, one word more, good lady.
What shall I do?
Oh, not this. By no means. That I bid you do. Let the bloat king tempt you again to bed. Pinch wanton on your cheeks, call you his mouse. Or let him for a pair of reachy kisses, or paddling in your neck with his damned fingers, make you to ravel all this matter out, that I essentially am not in madness, but mad in craft.
Be thou assured, if words be made of breath and breath of life, I have no life to breathe what thou hast said to me.
I must to England, you know that?
Lass, I'd forgot. 'Tis so concluded on.
There's letters sealed. And my two schoolfellows, whom I will trust as I will adders fanged, they bear the mandate. Let it work. For it is the sport to see the engineer hoist with his own petard. This man shall set me packing. I'll lug the guts into the neighbor room. Good night, mother. Oh, indeed. This counselor is now most still, most secret, and most grave. That was in life a foolish prating knave. Oh, come, sir. We draw toward an end with you. Mother? Good night.
Now, Gertrude, where is your son?
Bestow this place on us a little while. Oh, my good Lord, what have I seen tonight?
What, Gertrude? How does Hamlet?
Mad, as the sea and wind when both contend, which is the mightier. In his lawless fit, behind the arras, hearing something stir, he whips out a rapier and cries, "A rat, a rat!" And in this brainish apprehension kills the unseen good old man.
Oh, heavy deed. It had been so with us had we been there. His liberty is full of threats to all, to you yourself, to us, to everyone. Alas, how shall this bloody deed be answered? Where is he gone?
To draw apart the body, he hath killed it. But he weeps for what he's done.
Ho, Guildenstern! Hamlet in madness hath Polonius slain, and from his mother's closet hath he dragged him. Go seek him out, speak fair, and bring the body into the chapel. I pray you haste in this. Come, Gertrude. Oh, come away. My soul is full of discord and dismay.
Ugh. Safely stowed.
Hamlet! Lord Hamlet!
What? What noise is this? Who calls on Hamlet? Ugh, here they come.
Good my lord, what have you done with the dead body?
Compounded it with dust, whereto 'tis kin.
Tell us where 'tis, that we may take it thence and bear it to the chapel.
Ah! Do not believe it.
Believe what?
That I can keep your counsel and not mine own. Besides, to be demanded of a sponge, what replication should be made by the son of a king?
Take you me for a sponge, my lord?
Aye, sir. That soaks up the king's countenance, his rewards, his authorities. But such officers do the king best service in the end. For, like an ape, he keeps them in the corner of his jaw, first mouthed to be last swallowed. When he needs what you have gleaned, it is but squeezing you, and sponge, you shall be dry again.
I understand you not, my lord.
I am glad of it. A knavish speech sleeps in a foolish ear.
You must tell us where the body is, my lord, and go with us to see the king.
The body is with the king. But the king is not with the body. The king is a thing.
A thing, my lord?
Of nothing. Come, bring me to him.
Now, Hamlet, where's Polonius?
At supper.
At supper?
No.
Where?
Not where he eats, but where he is eaten. There is a convocation of politic worms even at him. Your worm is your only emperor for diet. We fat all creatures else to fat us. We fat ourselves for worms. Thus, your fat king and your lean beggar is but variable service. 2 dishes but to 1 table, and that's the end.
Alas, alas.
Oh, a man may fish with a worm that hath eat of a king, and eat of a fish that have fed of that worm.
What dost thou mean by this?
Nothing, but to show you how a king may go a progress through the guts of a beggar.
Where is Polonius?
In heaven! Send hither to see. If your messenger find him not there, seek him in the other place yourself. But indeed, if you find him not within the month, you shall nose him as you go up the stairs into the lobby.
Go, seek him there.
He'll stay till you come.
Hamlet, this deed must send thee hence with fiery quickness. Therefore prepare thyself. The ship is ready, thy associates tend, and everything is bent for England.
For England?
Aye, Hamlet.
Good.
So it is if thou knewst our purposes.
Oh, I see a cherub that sees them. But come, for England! Farewell, dear mother. Mwah!
Thy loving father, Hamlet.
No, my mother! Father and mother is man and wife. Man and wife is but one flesh, therefore, my mother. But come, for England.
Pray you make haste, I'll have him hence tonight. And England, if my love thou hold'st at aught, thou mayst not coldly set aside our sovereign process, which imports in full the present death of Hamlet. Do it, England, for like the hectic in my blood he rages, and thou must cure me till I know 'tis done. However my haps, my joys were never begun.
Go, Captain. From me, greet the Danish. Tell him that by his license, Fortinbras craves the conveyance of a
a promised march over his kingdom. And if his majesty would aught with us, we shall express our duty in his eye.
I will do it, my lord Fortinbras.
Go, softly on.
Whose powers are these?
They are of Norway, sir.
How purpose, sir, I pray you?
Against some part of Poland.
Who commands them, sir?
The nephew to old Norway, Fortinbras.
Goes it against the main of Poland, sir, or for some frontier?
Truly to speak, and with no addition, we go to gain a little patch of ground that hath in it no profit but the name. To pay 5 ducats 5, I would not farm it.
Well, then the Polak never will defend it.
Yes, it is already garrisoned.
I humbly thank you, sir.
God be with you, sir.
Will it please you go, my lord?
No. Go a little before, I'll be with you straight. How all occasions do inform against me, and spur my dull revenge. What is a man, if the chief good and market of his time be but to sleep and feed, a beast, no more? Sure, he that made us with such large discourse, looking before and after, gave us not that capability and godlike reason to fust in us, unused. Now, whether it be bestial oblivion or some craven scruple of thinking too precisely on the event, I do not know why yet I live to say this things to do, sith I have cause, and strength and will and means, examples gross as earth exhort me, witness this army of such mass and charge, led by a delicate and tender prince whose spirit, with divine ambition puffed, makes mouths at the invisible event, exposing what is mortal and unsure to all that fortune, death, and danger dare. Even for an eggshell. Rightly, to be great is not to stir without great argument, but greatly to find quarrel in a straw when honor's at the stake. How stand I then that have a father killed, a mother whored, excitements of my reason and my blood, and let all sleep, while to my shame I see the imminent death of 20,000 men that for a fantasy and trick of fame go to their graves like beds. Fight for a plot wherein the number cannot try the cause, that is not tomb enough or continent to hide the slain. From this time forth, my thoughts be bloody, or they be nothing worth.
I will not speak with her.
She is importunate, indeed distract. Her mood will needs be pitied.
Well, what would she have?
She speaks much of her father. Her speech is nothing certain, yet much unhappily.
Oh, let her come in. Oh, to my sick soul, each trifle seems prologue to some greater miss.
Where's the beauteous majesty of Denmark?
Why, how now, Ophelia?
How should I your true love know from another one? By his cockle hat and staff and his sandal shoon.
Alas, sweet lady, what imports this song?
Say you, nay, pray you mark. He is dead and gone, lady. He is dead and gone. At his head a grass-green turf, at his heels a stone.
Nay, but Ophelia,
pray you mark. White his shroud as a mountain snow, lauded o'er
Yes,
with
my
sweet
lord, look
flowers,
here.
which bewept to the grave did go with true love showers.
How do you, pretty lady?
They say the owl is a baker's daughter. Oh, Lord, we know what we are, but know not what we may be. God be at your table.
Conceit upon her father.
Pray you, let's have no words of this. But when they ask you what it means, say this. Tomorrow is St. Valentine's Day, all in the morning for time, and I am made at you to be your Valentine. Then up he rose and donned his clothes and up the chamber door. Let in a maid, let out a maid, never departed more.
Pretty Ophelia.
Indeed, law, without an oath. I'll make an end on it. By just and by Saint Charity, I lack and fight for shame. Young men will do it if they come to it. By cock they are to blame. Quoth she, before you tumbled me, you promised me to wed. And what I had done by yonder sun, had thou not come to my bed.
How long hath she been thus?
I hope all will be well. But we must be patient. I cannot choose but to weep to think that they should lay him in the cold ground. My brother shall know of it. And so I thank you for your good counsel. Come, my coach, come. Good night, sweet ladies. Good night, ladies.
Follow her close. Give her good watch, I pray you. Oh. This is the poison of deep grief. It stems all from her father's death. Oh, Gertrude, Gertrude, when sorrows come, they come not single spies, but in battalions. First her father slain, next poor Ophelia, divided from herself and her fair judgment.
You may not then.
Lass, what noise is this?
Give me my father!
Let him go, Marcellus. Tell me, Laertes, why thou art thus incensed. Speak, man.
Where is my father?
Dead.
Then not by him.
Let him demand his fill.
How came he dead? I'll not be juggled with. Let come what comes, only I'll be revenged most thoroughly for my father.
Who shall stay you?
My will, not all the world.
Why, now you speak like a good child and a true gentleman. I am guiltless of your father's death, and am most sensibly in grief for it.
What noise is that? Dear maid, kind sister, sweet Ophelia.
They bore him barefaced on the bier. Hey, nunny, and in his grave rained many a tear. Fare you well, my dove, and you must sing a down. And you must call him a downer. Oh.
This nothing's more than matter.
There's rosemary. That's for remembrance. Pray, love, remember. There's fennels for you, and columbines too. There's rue for you, and here's some for me. Oh, you must wear your rue with the difference. I would give you all some violets, but they withered all when my father died. But they say he made a good end. For bonny sweet Robin was all my joy. For bonny sweet Robin was all my joy.
Thought and affliction, passion, hell itself, she turns to prettiness.
And will he not come again? And will he not come again? No, he is gone. He never will come again. Go to thy deathbed. His beard was as white as snow. All flaxen was his poll. He is gone. He is gone. And we cast away moan. God have mercy on his soul. And of all Christian souls, I pray God. God be with thee.
Okay.
You see this, oh God? Is possible? A young maid's wits should be as mortal as an old man's life.
Laertes, I must commune with your grief, or you deny me right, and we will jointly labor with your soul to give it due content.
Let this be so. His means of death were such that I must cult in question.
So you shall. And where the offense is, let the great axe fall. I pray you, go with me.
What are they that gave you this?
Sailors, good Horatio. And they also brought letters to the king.
I thank you, sir. Stay a while. Horatio, ere we were 2 days old at sea, a pirate of very warlike appointment gave us chase. Finding ourselves too slow of sail, we put on a compelled valor, and in the grapple I boarded them on the instant they got clear of the ship. So I alone became their prisoner. They have dealt with me like thieves of mercy, but they know what they did. I am to do a good turn for them. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern go to it. Of them I have much to tell thee. Let the king have the letters I have sent, and repair thou to me with as much speed as thou wouldst fly death. These good fellows will bring thee where I am, he that thou knowest thine, Hamlet. Go, good Marcellus. Let the king have your letters, and then bring me to the men who gave you this.
Now must your conscience my acquittance seal, and you must put me in your heart for friend, sith you know that he which hath your noble father slain pursued my life.
It well appears. But tell me why you proceeded not against these feats.
Oh, for two special reasons. The queen, his mother, lives almost by his looks, and she is so conjunctive to my life and soul, that as the star moves not but in his sphere, I could not but by her. The other motive is the great love the general gender bear him.
And so have I a noble father lost, a sister driven into desperate terms, but my revenge will come.
Break not your sleeps for that. Now, what news?
Letters, my lord, from Hamlet.
From Hamlet? Who brought them?
Sailors, my lord. They say, I saw them not.
Laertes, you shall hear them. Leave us. High and mighty, you shall know I am set naked on your kingdom. Tomorrow shall I beg leave to see your kingly eyes, when I shall, first asking your pardon thereunto, recount the occasion of my sudden and more strange return. Hamlet, what should this mean? Are all the rest come back, or is this some abuse and no such thing?
Know you the hand?
'Tis Hamlet's character, naked. Can you advise me?
I'm lost in it, my lord, but let him come. It warms the very sickness of my heart that I shall live and tell him to his teeth, thus didst thou.
To thine own peace, will you be ruled by me?
Aye, my lord.
Hamlet comes back. What would you undertake to show yourself your father's son in deed more than in words?
To cut his throat in the church.
No place indeed should murder sanctuarize. Revenge should have no bounds. Hamlet return shall know you have come back. We'll put a wager on your heads. He, being remiss, most generous and free from all contriving, will not peruse the foil, so that with ease, or with a little shuffling, you may choose a sword unbaited, and in a passive practice requite him for your father. And for his death, no wind of blame shall breathe, but even his mother shall uncharge the practice and call it accident.
I'll do it. And to that purpose, I'll anoint my blade with a poison so mortal that nothing can escape death that is but scratched withal.
Let's further think of this. Soft, let me see. I have it. When in your motion you are hot and dry, and that he calls for drink, I'll have prepared him a chalice for the nonce, whereon but sipping, should he by chance escape your venom stuck, our purpose may hold there. How now, sweet queen?
One woe doth tread upon another's heels, so fast they follow. Your sister's drowned, Laertes.
Drowned? Where?
There's a willow that grows aslant a brook that shows its hoar leaves in the glassy stream. There, with fantastic garlands did she come of crowflowers, nettles, daisies, long purples. There, on the pendant boughs, clamoring to hang, an envious sliver broke, and down her weedy trophies and herself fell into the weeping brook. Her clothes they spread wide, and mermaid-like a while they bore her up, which time she chanted snatches of old tunes, as one incapable of her own distress, or like a creature native and endued into that element. But long it could not be. Before her garments, heavy with their drink, they pulled the poor wretch from her melodious lay to muddy death. Oh.
Too much of water hast thou, poor Ophelia, and therefore I forbid my tears. Adieu, my lord. I have a speech of fire that fain would blaze, but that this folly doubts it.
Let's follow, Gertrude. How much I had to do to calm his rage. Now fear I this will give it start again.
In youth when I did love, methought it was very sweet to contract out the time of for my behove, methought there was nothing meet. But age with his stealing steps hath clawed me in his clutch, and he hath shipped me into the land as if I had never been such. A pickaxe and a spade, and for a shrouding sheet, and oh, for a pit of clay, for such a guest is meet.
Has this fellow no feeling of his business? He sings at grave making.
Oh, custom hath made it in him a property of easiness.
'Tis e'en so. That skull had a tongue in it, and could sing once. And now how the knave jowls it to the ground. I'll speak to this fellow. Sirrah, whose grave is this?
Mine, sir.
I think it be thine indeed, for thou liest in it.
You lie out on it, therefore it is not yours. For my part, I do not lie in it, and yet it is mine.
Thou dost lie in it, to be in it and say that it is thine. 'Tis for the dead, not for the quick, therefore thou liest.
'Tis a quick lie, sir. 'Twill away again from me to you.
What man is to be buried in it?
For no man, sir.
What woman then?
For none neither.
Who is to be buried here?
One that was a woman, sir, but rest her soul, she's dead.
How absolute the knave is! We must speak by the card, or equivocation will undo us. How long hast thou been a grave maker?
I first came to it the day that our last King Hamlet overcame forts in brass.
How long since is that?
Cannot you tell that? Every fool can tell that. It was the very day that young Hamlet was born, he that is mad and sent into England.
Why was he sent to England?
Why? Because he was mad. He shall recover his wits there, or if he do not, 'tis no great matter.
Why?
'Twill not be seen in him there. There, the men are as mad as he.
How came he mad?
Very strangely, they say.
How strangely?
Faith, even with losing his wits.
Upon what grounds?
Why, here in Denmark. I have been sexton here, man and boy, 30 years.
How long will a man lie in the earth ere he rot?
If he be not rotten before he dies, we have many pocky courses nowadays that will scarce hold the laying in. He will last you some 8 year or 9 year. A tanner will last you 9 year.
Why? Why he more than another?
Why, sir, his hide is so tan with his trade that it will keep out water a great while. And your water is a sore decayer of your horse and dead body. Wait, here is a skull now. This skull, sir, hath lain in the earth 23 years.
Whose was it?
A horse and mad fellows it was. Who do you think it was?
Nay, I know not.
A pestilence on him for a mad rogue. I poured a flagon of Rhenish on my head once. This same skull, sir, was Yorick's skull, the king's jester.
This?
E'en that.
Let me see. Oh. Oh, alas. Poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio. He was a fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy. He hath borne me on his back 1,000 times, and now, oh, how abhorrent in my imagination it is. My gorge rises at it. Here hung those lips that I have kissed I know not how oft. Where be your jibes now? Your songs, your gambols, your flashes of merriment that were wont to set the table at a roar? Not one. To mock your own grinning. Quite chop-fallen? Oh. To what base uses we may return, Horatio. Imperious Caesar, dead and turned to clay, might stop a hole and keep the wind away.
Twere to consider too curiously to consider it so.
Oh, here come the king and queen. Who is this they follow?
Lay her in the earth, and from her fair and unpolluted flesh may violets spring. What ceremony else? What ceremony else?
Her obsequies have been as far enlarged as we have warranty.
Must no more be done?
No more. Her death was doubtful. She should in ground unsanctified be buried.
I say to thee, churlish priest, a ministering angel will my sister be when thou liest howling.
What the fair Ophelia?
Sweets to the sweet. Farewell. I hope thou shouldst have been my Hamlet's wife. I thought thy bride's bed to have decked, sweet maid, and not have strewed thy grave.
Oh, treble woeful, 10 times treble on that cursed head, whose wicked deed thy most ingenious sense deprived thee of. Hold off the earth a while, until I have caught her once more in my arms.
What is he whose grief bears such an emphasis? Who would conjure up the wandering stars and make them stand like wonder-wounded hearers? This is I, Hamlet the Dane.
The devil take thy soul! Cut them asunder!
Hamlet!
Hamlet! Quiet!
Then I will fight upon this theme until my eyelids will no longer wag.
Son, upon what theme?
I loved Ophelia. 40,000 brothers could not with all their quantities of love make up my sum. What wilt thou do for her?
Oh, he is mad, Laertes!
For the love of God, forbear him!
Sir, hear this, sir. What reason do you have to use me thus? I loved you ever. Oh, but it is no matter. Let Hercules himself do what he may. The cat will mew and dog will have his day.
Horatio, wait upon him. An hour of quiet shortly shall we see. Till then in patience our proceeding be.
Horatio. Horatio, thou art e'en as just a man as e'er my conversation could.
My dear lord,
Nay, do not think I flatter. Why should the poor be flattered? Thou hast been as one in suffering all that suffers nothing. Give me that man that is not passion's slave, and I will wear him in my heart's core. I, in my heart of hearts, as I do thee. Something too much of this. Do you remember all the circumstance?
Remember it, my lord.
There is a divinity that shapes our ends. Rough hew them, though we will.
Oh, that is most certain.
Aboard the boat, in secret, I unsealed the Grand Commission of Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, wherein I found, Horatio, an exact command that my head should be struck off.
Why, what a king is this?
He that hath killed my king, whored my mother, popped in between the election and my hopes. Is it not perfect conscience that I quit him now with this arm?
It must be shortly known to him from England what is the issue of the business there.
It will be short. The interim is mine. But I am very sorry, good Horatio, that to Laertes I forgot myself, for in the picture of my cause, I see the portraiture of his.
Peace. Who comes here?
What is it? Good Marcellus, I'm very glad to see you.
My good lord, the king commands me say, you cannot be ignorant of what excellence Laertes is for his rapier and dagger. And the king hath laid, my lord, that in a dozen passes between yourself and him, he shall not exceed you 3 hits. He hath laid on 12 for 9. It would come to immediate trial if your lordship will vouchsafe the answer.
How if I answer no? I will walk here in the halls a while. If it please his majesty, it is the breathing time of day with me. But let the foils be brought, the gentleman willing, and the king hold his purpose. I will win for him if I can. And if not, all I shall gain will be the odd hit and my shame.
Shall I redeliver you e'en so?
E'en so. Good Marcellus.
You will lose this wager, my lord.
No, I do not think so. I shall win at the odds. Oh, but thou wouldst not think how ill all's here about my heart, but no matter.
If your mind dislike anything, obey it. I will forestall their repair hither. Say you are not fit.
No, not a whit. We defy augury. There is a special providence in the fall of a sparrow. If it be now, 'tis not to come. If it be not to come, it will be now. If it be not now, yet it will come. The readiness is all. Oh, and since no man has aught of what he leaves, what is to leave betimes, eh? Sir, give me your pardon, sir. I have done thee wrong. What I have done, I here proclaim, was madness. But, sir, in this audience, let my disclaiming of the purposed evil free me so far in your most generous thoughts that I have shot mine arrow o'er the house and hurt my brother.
I'm satisfied in nature, and do accept your offered love like love, and will not wrong it.
I accept it freely. Come, let the foils be brought.
Come, one from me.
Cousin Hamlet, you know the wager.
Very well, my lord. Your grace hath laid the odds on the weaker side.
I do not fear it. Set me the stoops of wine upon that table. Come, begin. And you, the judges, bear a wary eye.
On God.
Come, sir.
Come, my lord.
All right. Hold! On God. All right.
What?
Oh, no.
Judgment?
Well, again.
Stay. Give me drink. Hamlet, this pearl is thine. Here's to thy health. Give him the cup.
No, I'll play the bout first. That'd buy a while.
On God. Away.
Another hit, what say you?
A touch, I do confess.
Our son shall win.
Here, Hamlet, take thy napkin, rub thy brow. The queen carouses to thy fortune, Hamlet.
Gertrude, do not drink.
I will, my lord, I pray thee, pardon me.
By and by.
Let me rub thy face.
My lord, I'll hit him now.
I do not think it.
And yet 'tis almost against my conscience.
Come, for the third Laertes. But do not dally, I pray you, pass with your best violence. I'm afeard you make a wanton of me.
Say ye so?
On God.
Come on!
Away. Hold. Nothing, neither way. On God. Away. Have it you now.
Aha!
Hold, I say.
Pardon them, they are incensed!
They bleed on both sides. How is it, my lord?
Oh, I as a woodcock to mine own springe, Marcellus. I am justly killed with mine own treachery.
There's the queen.
She swoons to see them bleed.
No, the drink, the drink. Oh, my dear Hamlet, the drink, the drink. I am poisoned.
No! No! Villainy! Let the doors be locked! Treachery! Seek it out!
It is here, Hamlet. Hamlet, thou art slain. No medicine in the world can do thee good. Indeed, there is not half an hour of life. The treacherous instrument is in thy hand, unbaited and envenomed. The foul practice had turned itself on me low. Here I lie, never to rise again. Thy mother's poisoned. I can no more. The king! The king's to blame!
The point and venom, too! Then venom to the
treason! Oh, yet defend me, friends! I am but hurt!
Oh, thou murderous, incestuous, damned Dane! Drink off this potion!
He is justly served. It is a poison tempered by himself. Exchange forgiveness. No, Hamlet. Mine and my father's death come not upon thee, nor thine upon me.
Heaven free thee of it. I follow thee. Horatio, I am dead. Oh, wretched queen, and you that would look pale and tremble at this chance, that art but mute. Oh, an audience to this agate I but time. But his fell sergeant death is strict at his arrest. I could tell thee. Let it be. Let it be, Horatio. Horatio, I am dead. Thou livest. Report me and my cause aright to the unsatisfied. Oh, what warlike noise is this?
Young Fortinbras, with conquest, comes from Poland to salute the king, gives this warlike volley.
Oh, Horatio, I die. This potent potion quite o'ergrows my spirit. But I do prophesy the election lights on Fortinbras. Oh, he has my dying breath. Tell him with the currents more and less. Oh, it should has to listen. Oh, the rest is silence.
Now cracks a noble heart. Night, sweet prince. Flights of angels sing thee to thy rest. Why does the drum come hither?
Where's this sight?
What is it you would see? If aught of woe or wonder, cease your search.
This quarry cries of havoc, O proud death. What feast is laid in thine eternal cell, that thou, so many princes at a shot, so bloodily hast struck?
Let me speak to the yet unknowing world of how these things came about. So shall you hear of carnal, bloody, and unnatural acts, of accidental judgments, of casual slaughters, of deaths put on by cunning and forced cause, and in this upshot, purposes mistook fallen on their inventors' heads. Oh, all this can I truly deliver.
Let us haste to hear it. Call the noblest to the audience. For me, with sorrow, I embrace my fortune. I have some rights of memory in this kingdom, which now to claim my advantage doth invite me.
Of that I shall also have cause to speak.
Let 4 captains bear Hamlet like a soldier to the stage, for he was likely, had he been put on, to have proved most royally, and for his passage the soldier's music speaks loudly for him. Take up the body. Such a sight as this becomes the field, but here shows much amiss. Go, bid the soldiers shoot.